Shalom, Israel. First and foremost, Barakatah Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Rakakwadash, double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, aka GMS. Shalom to the whole elect, beginning with 144,000. Shalom. So this lesson will just be going off this article, right, from endtimesheadlines.org, right? And this article was published yesterday on the 28th of November, and it said, man loses password to implantable chip in his hand. All right, and I'm going to just read, just go out this little article before I get more into it. All right, so it said, a magician in Missouri had a kooky idea, implant a computer chip into his hand and then do some fun magic tricks with it. Too bad he forgot the password. All right, that's crazy. It said it sounds like a short story cooked up by Kurt. What is that? Vonnegut. But it really happened to Z-Ting Wan, a magician in damn, I forgot to pronounce it.
Molecular.
Oh, sorry. So, a magician and molecular biologist in Missouri who posted about his predicament in his Facebook account this month, complete with an X-ray picture of his hand showing the white outline of the offended microchip embedded in the meat between his thumb and index finger. Right, as y'all can see, this is AI generated image. But anyway, that's how it's going to be, right? It's going into the RFID chip, in other words, the MOTB. The ones that have it now, they basically are like the experiments, right? The lab rats, the little test dummies, and mind you, the chip banned out because people from years ago now received the chip, right? Because it's part of the experiment. They're trying to see how long they're going to be able to last, right? Basically see how long they're going to live, see did they have any improvements of, at work or, school, their thought process, their movements, right? Basically to see if it's just going to be an increase on the help, to their, everyday life, I guess you could say. Right, so let's continue on. He said, I'm living my own cyberpunk dystopia life right now, locked out of technology inside my body, and it's my own damn fault, wrote Wayne, who goes by the stage name Z the Mentalist. All right, so on the first glance, it's pretty funny. They say, but as companies like being that Elon Musk, Neuralink push brain chips, as y'all see, Neuralink push brain chips to the public. It's going to be the same thing with this RFID chip. They're going to make it soon be made mandatory, right, to receive it, so they're going to be able to track you, have access to you, see what you buying and selling, things of that such. That's going to be the only way you're going to be able to abide in society, right? That's going to be the only way you're going to be able to continue to go to work, pay your bills, go inside the grocery stores, all right, drive your car, all right, so far, travel, so far and so forth, right? Because without this chip, you're either going to be killed or thrown into jail, right? They're going to make it mandatory, right? We're going to get into all that, But as y'all can see, they're trying to make the chip, basically have you able to, you say down and do miracles, right? They gonna have this chip to where it's so-called amazing to where everyone's going to want to receive it, right? You'll have people, they might end up saying, yeah, it give you an extra 25 years of living. Yeah, we're going to pay you to get it, and, blase. They're going to make it sound so fucking good and great, right? And, that's where the advertisement and all that shit going to come in. There's going to be a lot of people going to be tempted to receive it. They're saying a lot of people out here living life, or, and they end up starving because they don't have it, or they getting sick because they don't have it. Whatever the case may be, whatever the Lord has to like, or has it to play out to be. Right, I'm just speaking of man. Right, so it says, Neuralink push brain chips to the public. Wayne's personal tale serves as a cautionary tale for the risk of having any technology, whether private and public, embedded into your body. Companies may go out of business, product lines discontinued, or in the case of Wayne, you stupidly forget the bloody password. Wayne explained in a Facebook post that he had a radio frequency identification RFID microchip inserted into his hand. So it says, right? It says he got the RFID chip, this microchip inserted into his hand. Donnie speaks about that in Revelation the 13th chapter, right? And won't this motherfucker be destroyed for receiving it? Yes. As it speaks of in Revelation the 14th chapter, right? So let's go to continue on. So it says, he posted that he had a radio frequency identification, right, microchip inserted into his hand ages ago for fun magic tricks, but it required someone, such as an audience member, to press their smartphone with the RFID reader to Wayne's hand to activate whatever trick he developed. Right, so with this fucking microchip, you gonna be able to fucking, man, this shit is gonna be fucking crazy. It's literally gonna be crazy. And that's why a lot of people are going to receive it, right? Because you see how this magician using this RFID chip just for his magic tricks and things of that such, right? He developed it to do certain things of that such. Man, this motherfuckers out here, these damn scientists, these damn nerds and shit like that. Oh, they gonna have this shit dumb, crazy, stupid, right? How they motherfucking chip able to do this and that when certain shit happen over there. The case maybe motherfuckers think they damn, ooh, that Iron Man, right? When you able to, you know, fucking band 10 and shit, when you got the little watch and able to transform into shit, right? Obviously it's not gonna be like that, but shit, I'm referring to how they gonna be able to program this chip to be so you can basically do whatever the fuck as you please, right? And things of that such, you know. But anyway, let's continue on, right? So, and that's crazy. I said RFID reader, and that's what it's going to be, and that's why, and that's how they're going to know if you have it or not, because they're gonna have checkpoints and police officers and you know soldiers and things that such, you know, at these checkpoints. So if you want to travel, you want to go somewhere, they gonna have to scan your RFID before you get access inside this building, right? Or for you to buy this thing. You know, how you try to buy something, they need an ID, right? Say for instance, alcohol or you know, cigarettes, whatever the case may be. They have to scan your chip, right? Ain't gonna be no more physical ID. That's why they're trying to push the digital ID out now. But soon it's gonna go into their hand. Well, yeah, we're gonna scan your hand. Oh, let me see your hand, right? Things of that such, you know. And they're gonna have a reader to be able to scan it. Okay, you over the age of 21, 25, whatever they have the limit to be set as, right? And then, you know, blase, right? So it's but it turns out that pressing someone else's phone to my hand repeatedly, trying to figure out where their phone's RFID reader is, really doesn't come out super mysterious and magical, damn, so like and amazing. He wrote, and other people had the reader disabled too, while using my own phone for the scan also lacks, what is that, for the obvious reasons. Moving away from using the gadget as a magician prop, he later tinkered around with the chip by rewriting it with a Bitcoin address and then had it linked to an image meme on Imgur, the online image sharing platform. Right, and it's another article basically going to this that same thing. Right, you gotta use username, password. You know, but I think it's basically the same thing, just longer. It's saying the same thing. I'm not finna read both of these articles, I'll tell you that much. But it's crazy though, you know, how they gonna have this chip, you know, very programmed for people to, you know, do crazy things and things of that such, you know, and you know, and some people, it is going to be magical, right? Magical, you know, impressive, you know, things of that such. But little they know, with receiving that chip, become consequences, right? Of course, with the Heavenly Father, you're going to be destroyed, but also that chip can malfunction, right? It can cause you to get infections, right, and all types of shit. That's why I said earlier, you know, these people, you know, they receiving these chips. They basically like the experiment, the experiments and things of that such. Cause they try to see if they go get infected, they gonna die quick, or whatever the case may be. And pretty sure that a lot of people probably done died, with them, doing it within the lab. Then they done made a couple adjustments. Now they trying to see, right? Cause this was a lesson I was finna do, but I was like, I still might do it. But it says a scientist claim. Scientists claim new pill will give you 150 years. Right? So you trying to, as y'all can see, these motherfuckers trying to, do anything in their power to, have you to extend your lifespan, right? To be like the Heavenly Father. They really want to be like the Heavenly Father. That's why they got this chip. Because that chip is going to the New World Order, to their new system. And if you don't abide by that system, you're going to be destroyed. All right, so it's Isaiah 14:14. So I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I would be like the Most High, man. That's how Esau Edom want to be, right? They're so powerful, and they want to be so fucking controlling and things of that such. They do any and everything so they can be like the Most High. Try to create a pill so you can live up to 150 years, right? Like, come on, man. And it goes to them on their house to, forever. Damn, where is that? I just had it. Psalms 49:11. Oh, damn, so I keep going wrong down. Isaiah 49:11. I know I wasn't tripping. It said that ever thought is that their houses shall continue forever, that dwell the princes to all generations. They call their lands after their own names, right? And with this microchip thing, they said they feel like they're able to microchip everyone, right? And get everybody under one religion, under one currency, under one, law. Things that they said they feel like they'll continue to be on top for forever and ever, right? And little do they know, at the end of their rulership, right? Grab this real quick. Matthew 24:24. And it reads, for there shall arise false anointings and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, and so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Right, which the elect is not going to be deceived. The elect is not going to take this RFID chip. Right, but the things I wanted was, these great signs and wonders. Right, because ain't no telling what that chip is going to be capable of. Right, that chip a chip, they might have motherfuckers you doing some crazy ass shit, right? So you will never know, right? But they let us know about all these things, right? Right, it be that discernment and things of the season. And most importantly, that spirit, the spirit of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, right? So let's get this in Sirach 42:18, right? And it reads, he seeketh out the deep in the heart, and considereth their crafty devices. For the Lord knoweth all that may be known, and he behold the signs of the world, right? And these crafty devices, right? And taking it to the RFID chip, right? This shit's going to be very crafty, right? And it's an evil ass device, right? And we can't stress it well enough. Do not take this RFID chip. Right, if you take this RFID chip, you get this shit implant it anywhere in your body. Right, it don't matter if it's your foot, your knee, your eye. It doesn't fucking matter. You're gonna be destroyed. Right. 2 Corinthians 12:11. I say, let's say it's again an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Right, so these motherfuckers getting chips just to increase their magic tricks and things. Just imagine what people going to do get a chip when they want to increase their money or their improvement or things that they said. They're going to say this chip can, make a disabled person back, back to normal and things of this such, right? Hey, man, they're going to make this RFID chip sound so fucking fantastic and magnificent. There's going to be a lot of people that's going to go out and get it, right? Little do they know they're going to be fucking destroyed. It's Revelation 13th chapter, and verse 16 gets straight to the point. 15. So it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, right? So it's going to be, so these folks, right, Esau, Edom, is going to cause all, it don't matter if you're a fucking baby or you're an old-ass grown woman, they're going to make sure that you get that damn RFID chip. If not, you're going to be destroyed. You're going to be thrown to the FEMA camps, right? And, probably going to be tortured until you either give in or either they just decide to fucking kill you. All right, so let's continue on. Verse 17, so it said that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, right? So you're not even going to be able to do anything without this chip, right? You basically got to be moving like pilgrims. You got to get your own. You have to be in survival mode, right? Continuing on, verse 18 says, here's the wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 636, meaning what 666, and who, if you know that is Esau, Edom, right? This Revelation, the 14th chapter, and verse 9, and it reads, and the third angel followed them, saying, also the verse 8, and it reads, and there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen. Babylon, what? Babylon the Great, aka America, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Right, so continue on verse 9, saying, the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Heavenly Father, which is poured out with the mystery into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and the presence of the Lamb. Right, so they're just showing you how if you receive this chip, right, that you're going to have to go through that wrath of the Heavenly Father, right, which pour mystery into his cup of his indignation, right, with his that righteous punishment, right, that righteous judgment. You know what I'm saying? He shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and the presence of the Lamb. The Lamb is who? Yahushua, right? So you're going to be destroyed in that presence of the holy angels, right, in Yahushua, you know. And like I say, man, that great city is fallen because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And what she done, America done deceived all these nations, right? And that's why they going to, turn against America, right? And nuke this motherfucker. This place is going to go desolate. So let's go to Revelation, the 3rd chapter, verse 10, right? And it reads, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, meaning what we kept the Heavenly Father's words, right? We went out to Yahweh Bashin Yahushua and not of our own understanding, right? We trusted in Yahweh Bashin Yahushua to guide our path, right? To keep us on a straight and narrow path, right? And then to stay our course rather than believing in our own selves and going out to establish our own, ways or whatever the case may be, right? We kept the Lord's patience. Is I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, right? Which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth, right? So all the world is going to be tested, it's going to be tried, and it's going to be, it's going to be forced to receive this RFID chip. There's going to be some people that's going to give in, but there's going to be some people that's going to, not give into it, right? Until Esau Edom down and put that fear upon them, then they ain't going to have no choice but to get it, right? But the elect's not going to get it, right? That's the hour of temptation, because people are going to be tempted to receive this RFID chip, right? Because whether they're saying the things that it's capable of doing, or whether they're, struggling and need some food or water, whether their people's getting sick, so the only way they're going to be able to get medicine, things like this, if they receive the chip, so they can go to the doctor or, CVS, whatever the case may be, right? It's going to be many certain different situations to where people are going to want to receive this chip, so verse 11 said, behold, I come quickly, hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown, man. That's what we're doing. We're not trying to make Esau's system take our crown away, right? Because once you receive that chip, your crown is gone, And I'm speaking of, the one that's in his truth, that's striving to the end, right? Do not let Esau Edom system take that crown, right? Don't let nothing take be able to take your crown, bro, for real. And so I come quickly, hold that fast, which thou hast. So you gotta hold fast to everything that we have, man. This knowledge, understanding, wisdom, and things of that such. Like it speaks about in Isaiah the 33rd chapter, verse 6, that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times and the strength of salvation. Right? So we gotta hold fast to this. Because if not, you're going to panic, or if not, you're going to go off your own understanding, and you're going to give in to it. If you give in to it, just know you're going to be destroyed. Right? So, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. Let's try to make it short, sweet, straight to the point. All right, with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Kakudash, double to the elder apostles, elder bishops, a great millstone, shalom to the whole faith, beginning with 144,000. Shalom.